All right, welcome. This will be the Saturday video. So we're just going to jump right into it. If you saw my video on Thursday, you know I'm doing a series of videos, just quickly knocking these out because of the holiday, have these all ready to go. So I don't really have to worry about creating content for just a little bit while we're enjoying the holiday time with family. Okay, let's just jump right into it here. And we left off with a marble in the last one. And this one here, we're going to start off with a watch again, or yeah, I had a watch in the previous one. Now, this is a Seiko watch. I don't think I have to tell you Seiko is a good brand to look out for. Be warned, because there are fake Seikos out there. I just recently came across a fake Seiko. This one was not fake. It was really, really nice. This is just a classic design. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to show you guys that. It doesn't have to be this cool, elaborate watch, all these, precious metals or, diamonds or crystals or whatever. It could be just a classic. This is just a classic, considered a woman's watch. It's just a nice, timeless design. Yeah, timeless. Just a really, really cool, classy watch. Basic. It has your date. Nice, clean, white dial. Gold-plated trim. A nice leather band. This was really small. So it required a very, very small battery. So definitely make sure that you have the appropriate tools to open the backs. There are plenty of watch sets you can buy on Amazon, relatively cheap, to be able to work on these watches. And sometimes you may need to fix the band. Or sometimes you just need to replace a battery, getting the back open. Some of these do require some unusual tools to open the backs, and just make sure you get yourself a good kit to be able to do that. But really, really cool watch. I definitely keep my eye out for Seikos. Be cautious. And let's see, what did this one sell for? It sold for pretty good. Pretty good monies. But this one here sold for $28.70, and $5.56 is what the shipping cost was for the buyer. And this went in a small padded bag. I have these, they're a little bit bigger than 4x6, and the reason was because I did have a couple of 4x6 packages lost in the mail a couple years ago, and so I moved over to a bit of a larger size and just a blank white one, so that way hopefully it doesn't get lost. Knock on wood, of course. Knock on wood around here. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. But it's a little bit bigger than a 4x6, and it's white. It's the next size up as far as what's common when it comes to bubble padded polymailers. Obviously, I did wrap it in bubble wrap. So make sure bubble wrap is your friend. Make sure you use it. Some people do overuse it, but I'd prefer overuse it than underuse it. If you get it in bulk, it is relatively cheap. If you're buying from stores, local stores, it's going to be expensive. If you go to Target and buy bubble wrap, it's going to be expensive. Home Depot, Lowe's, it's going to be really, really expensive. Make sure that you can. If you're starting out, maybe that's what you have to do. But there are cheaper options on Amazon. And then beyond that, if you need large rolls, definitely look to a company such as Uline and or American Bubble Boy, or there's other ones out there that you can get cheaper products if you buy in bulk. But really, really cool. Keep your eye out for Seikos. Be cautious. There are fakes, but don't pass by. This is clean. I mean, you might pass it by because it looks basic. It doesn't look like anything, but it's cool. Time classic design. Really, really nice watch, and they still sell incredibly well. So I got to keep track of how many I'm going through here because I don't want to jump through all these. We're doing 5 per video. I like to keep it 2. Here's something that is just, I didn't even know what the brand is. I had no idea what to sell this as. I was looking this up forever, trying to figure out who makes this. It was great quality. It was a good quality. It's just a driver. It's a bag for a driver. You can probably fit 2 drivers in this bag. Golf drivers, that is. So if you're going to the driving range, this would be something you would use. Something that you want to take your whole bag of golf clubs with you. You would just take your drivers. So black and white was the name that was on this thing. I couldn't find any. If you guys know, if you're more into golfing than I am, Even though I searched eBay, I Google searched, I couldn't find anything in it. If you know anything about this brand, let me know in the comments. But I've never really seen this before, and when I did see it, I felt the quality of it. That's the reason why I picked it up. I don't think that's animal skin. That's actually like just faux animal skin, but it is leather. Golf club, driver bag. It was just a great quality piece, and that's the reason why I picked it up. And what did it sell for, though? What did it sell for? It sold for $43.61. $10.69 is what they paid in shipping. And this went in a padded poly bag. So this really folded up really well. Even though it was great quality, it still can fold up really well and go in a padded poly bag with no issues at all. Really cool piece. It was just... there's no name brand. There's no, I'll be the only one. If anybody does find this, as far as I can tell, I'll be the only one that had posted one and sold it of this brand. Although when you put in black and white, it just pulls up all kinds of stuff. It's really difficult if this is the brand name, to find this specific brand name on eBay. But someone found it, someone bought it. Great item. Keep your eye out for it. Being able to identify quality is key when finding some of these cool, unique items. It just takes time and experience. Next, where am I at? Let me make sure I'm keeping track here. Okay, we're on to number 3. And now number 3, this is a train set, but this was actually that went on top of a popcorn box. What brand? I have no idea, but it is just a small Lionel set. Now, a lot of people, when you're going to buy Lionel, especially at the flea market or wherever, they're going to price it up. They're going to be like, they see Lionel, they automatically see trains, they automatically think dollar signs. But not all Lionel is necessarily good. There are some definite vintage pieces that do incredibly well, sell for hundreds of dollars. However, in my experience, you're not going to find those pieces very often. You're going to come across the more common ones, the ones that go for around $20, $30 or so, sometimes less. But this was really cool. This was just a tiny little set. Got some big old bundle. A tiny miniature set that was a topper on a popcorn tin. I don't have a popcorn tin, but I did have this. Now, this was sealed in that plastic. However, I did open it up just to make sure that it worked and there was no batteries in it, because this is a bit older piece. Pretty sure it's vintage. I'm not 100% sure it's vintage, but again, like I said, the vintage it's just a consensus basically that it's 20 years. There's no hard set rule that vintage is 20 years. So if you want to use the word vintage, by all means do it. I'm not going to be the vintage police on you. I know there's plenty of vintage police out there, not just on YouTube, but also on eBay. You'll get messages. You'll be like, this is not a vintage item. What are you doing? Like, it doesn't matter, really. It's just a consensus. Nobody really cares. I don't really care. But I did test it out. It does work. Really cool. Super lightweight too. It wasn't very heavy at all. But what did it sell for? That's what you want to know. We have $14 and $6.09 is what the shipping is. And this one in a padded poly bag. Again, I wrapped it a couple of times in bubble wrap and put it in a padded poly bag. Uline has great padded poly bags and they're very sturdy. And that's one of the reasons why I buy from them as well too, is they have great quality boxes, bubble wrap, padded poly bags. They just do great quality items. So, really cool. Cool item. Keep your eye out for train sets. Train sets are really, really popular. So, it's just a matter of, how much you're paying for it. Definitely look to see what they're going for on eBay. Look to see what you can pay for that item. Try to get low, especially if it's electric. Try to buy as low as possible because you don't know if it's going to work or not. I think we're on number 3. Yes. So number 4. I don't know if I showed this in a video or not. I don't think I did, because this just recently sold. Let me know in the comments. Did I show this one already? I'm not sure if I did or not. But Lucky Brand. Now, Lucky Brand isn't the best necessarily brand to resell. If you buy it low enough, it can be good. It does resell if you can buy it low enough. And by low enough, I'm talking about $1 here. Not very much. But this was just a cool enough purse for me to spend a little bit more than that. Not quite sure exactly how much I spent on it right off the top of my head. I think this was more in the range of $10. But it was a very well-made purse, and it had a unique design to it. You can't really tell in the video, but if you see the handles or the shoulder strap there, it is heavy, and it is a thick braided strap. Really, really cool. You got the fringe going on there. You got a Native American design boho fringe. And I used the word vintage. This is not a vintage purse if you're going according to the 20-year rule. This is not a vintage purse, but vintage inspired. So to kind of help circumvent those vintage police out there, really cool crossbody, boho Lucky Brand. So I'm not saying to buy all Lucky Brand. It depends what it is exactly. The subject matter is everything. So really, really cool piece. What did it sell for? Padded poly bag is what this went into. Large padded poly bag. I put this in a clear. I mentioned this earlier. I have a bunch. Got really, really cheap, like 10,000 clear poly bags. So I'm kind of using them. I might buy them in the future. I don't know if I'll keep buying them. I mean, if I find them really cheap, I might pick them up. But I am using them to box some of these more fabric-y items that I don't necessarily wrap in bubble wrap. But I still want to put in a bubble mailer. I'll wrap them first in a clear. It's almost like cellophane, I guess, bag before I put it in the padded poly bag. What did this go for? Like $30? $34. So this purse sold for $34 and $10.69 in shipping is what they paid. And it was a fairly heavy purse because of that strap. That strap was heavy. I was really, really surprised. It's really, really nice. It's a very, very nice purse. Very good quality. Lucky Brand is good quality. It just doesn't resell very well. So the buy cost is everything. The subject matter is everything. So keep your eye out for these style of Native American boho style purses, fringe. If it's good quality, it should sell pretty well. You could potentially use like Southwestern, Western, but I wanted to get all these other keywords in there before I pulled out those ones. So really, really cool. And I believe this is number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5 is a karaoke machine. Karaoke is huge. This was kind of cool, very unique, very difficult to determine what it should sell for. There's nothing out there on this brand name. I think there was like a random website, which I was going to be able to use to price this out at, but it actually used a form of Android on this system. I plugged it in, hooked it up with the computer, and it worked. You could plug in your microphones and everything to this. Karaoke is huge, and karaoke equipment can go for an incredible amount of money. So which is why I picked it up. But you can't pay too much, especially with something like this, because I had no idea what it was. There's no resale history. There's nothing on it, barely a website on it, and it was all in Chinese. So I was like, oh man, I don't know. There was no power adapter that came with it, but I was able to use my universal power adapter, and it worked perfectly fine. Started up. I didn't show a picture of it actually working in my listing, but a really cool piece. It was very well made. It was a very well made. Basically, it's a little computer, is what it is, and it was very, very well made product. Wi-Fi has the Wi-Fi antenna right there. Cool. So definitely keep your eye out for karaoke stuff. Don't be afraid to take a chance if it's a well-made item, especially if it's something like in a category like karaoke, which is very, very popular, especially in my area. There's karaoke bars everywhere in my area. What did it sell for? My throat's getting dry. I'm doing a lot of these videos all together, and I only have my coffee here right now. Let's get some water, maybe some whiskey. $48. $6.87 is what they paid in shipping. This went in a padded poly bag. This was This went close. This was over 2 pounds, but it did go close, which is why the shipping cost was so low. I did wrap it in a couple of things of bubble wrap, and I threw it inside a padded poly bag, and it made it perfectly safe. Knock on wood. I'm doing a lot of knocking on wood here for these next few videos because I want to push that point across, that because a lot of people that just started reselling in the last few years, I know one guy said, I shipped a mug inside a padded poly bag and it got completely broken. Now I moved the boxes. Well, of course it's going to break if you put a mug inside a padded poly bag. Mugs you do not put in padded poly bags. There's too many points of potential, breakage that can occur on those things. You got to use common sense. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to drill home the fact that you could use padded poly bags for a lot of different items. All these people that just started within the last few years, they don't have 20 years of experience. They don't have all this years of trial and error that I've done. So you can't put this in a padded poly bag. You can't put electronics in a padded poly. I put graphics cards in a padded poly bag before. So trust me, it can happen. Get yourself good quality shipping supplies. Okay, so really, really cool item here. Keep her out for karaoke machines. Get yourself a universal power adapter. It will help you out to test a lot of these items. They make universal power adapters for almost anything, even digital cameras. So that come with batteries. So keep your eye out for those as well too. Otherwise, I think that's 5 items. Let me just double check really quick. Like the video, thumbs up, subscribe while I'm counting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 items. See you in the next video. Hey, you've made it to the end. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video by hitting the thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel by hitting my little round icon down below. It really does help us out here. Also, you'll find a couple of selections. You'll see a playlist of videos to watch and my most recent video that I did upload.